The IDF just found massive Hezbollah terror tunnels in southern Lebanon stockpiled with insane amounts of ammunition, weapons, and other military equipment. Israel just said that Hezbollah supplies have now been reduced to 20% of what they were before October 7th. Hezbollah is scared, and for good reason, and now their new leader is threatening Netanyahu out of one side of his mouth while asking for a ceasefire out of the other side. A draft ceasefire proposal document presented to Israeli leaders by U.S. presidential envoy Amos Hochstein was just leaked to the public, and it might not be the worst thing that Israel could do. I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Guys, the war with Hezbollah in the north is still raging as we speak. Hezbollah has continued to fire rockets. They've continued to launch drones into northern Israel. Unfortunately, very tragically, just today, 5 people were killed in a direct Hezbollah rocket hit near the northern Israel town of Metula. So pray for their families, for the families of these victims who were killed by this Hezbollah rocket. Israel's not been inactive either. They've continued carrying out strike after strike on Hezbollah military positions. They've slowly but surely been rooting the terrorists out of southern Lebanon and, really, to put it bluntly, scaring the living daylights out of them so bad that many Hezbollah fighters are actually reported to be deserting now and fleeing, whether that's to Syria or just fleeing up north away from the fighting. In the past week or so, the IDF has found extensive tunnel networks similar to the ones that they found in the Gaza Strip, but they also found much more advanced tunnels there. Not just simple, hand-dug tunnels they dug with a shovel or whatever, but high-tech, very large tunnels, as you can see in these videos. Just the sheer volume of weapons, munitions, just military equipment in general is absolutely wild that they've been able to find there. They also had tons of food stored up. Looks like they were preparing to survive in the tunnels for long periods of time. Lots of bedding, mattresses, stuff like that. After clearing out these tunnels, the IDF, for the most part, has just been blowing up the tunnels, not necessarily trying to save everything, take it back to Israel. The logistics of that would be pretty hard, probably, to be able to take that back to Israel. So, for the most part, they've just been detonating the tunnels, blowing them in on themselves. All of this comes as Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. He just claimed that Hezbollah's rocket supply has now been reduced to just 20% of what it was before October 7th. That's massive. Obviously, we want to see that number reduced to 0, but it is still a very huge success. Guys, we're going to get into the rest of today's show in just 1 second, but first, today we're offering something truly special for those who stand with Israel and want to deepen their connection to the land God chose for his people. The 3D maps of modern and biblical Israel from Israel 365 are more than just maps. They're a powerful way to see and feel the land where the Bible's greatest stories took place. These raised relief maps are packed with detail. You can literally trace where the prophets walked, where the patriarchs, kings of Israel walked. Imagine following the journey of the Israelites from the wilderness to the promised land, or seeing where King David ruled and wrote his Psalms. These maps show every city, mountain, and valley, bringing the Bible's history to life in your own hands. For those who love and support Israel, this map is a must-have. It's perfect for Bible study, homeschooling, or as a meaningful gift for anyone who values the spiritual and historical importance of the land. Whether you visited Israel or dreamed of going someday, this map keeps the Holy Land close. Now is your chance to bring Israel's rich heritage into your home. And just click the link in the description below to get your 3D map of modern and biblical Israel today and stay connected to the land that God promised to his people. Again, just click that link in the description below. Hezbollah is scared, and for good reason. Their new leader, Naim Qassem, I guess we'll see how long he lasts, because as soon as Nasrallah was taken out, they appointed a new successor. He was taken out, and then his successor was taken out very quickly. So I'm not sure how long this guy is going to last. He's pretty scared right now, so he's hunkering down in Iran. But he just made his first speech yesterday since becoming the supreme leader of Hezbollah. Of course, he tried to put up a bold front. He's got to do that. He threatened Netanyahu, but he also slipped in references to a possible ceasefire, showing just how defeated Hezbollah truly is and how desperate they are. He said this, quote, "The enemy must know that its bombing of our villages and cities will not make us retreat, and the resistance is strong," and was able to deliver a drone to Netanyahu's room. Netanyahu survived this time, but perhaps his time has not yet come. And then he went on to say perhaps an Israeli will kill him, perhaps during one of the speeches. Later in the speech, he said this, "If the Israelis decide that they want to stop the aggression, we say we accept, but under the conditions that we see as appropriate and suitable." So he's saying a ceasefire is possible, but only under our own terms. Then he did say this, quote, "No project has been proposed that Israel agrees to and that we can discuss." So he's saying nothing has come up in the past that has been even remotely of a possibility. And speaking of a ceasefire deal, a draft ceasefire proposal document presented to Israeli leaders by U.S. presidential envoy Amos Hochstein was just leaked to the public. So an envoy from the United States, Amos Hochstein, he's in Israel right now. He's working on facilitating a truce between Israel and Hezbollah. The proposed agreement that he drafted up that was leaked, this document, would have Israel withdraw from Lebanon, Hezbollah withdraw from the southern part of Lebanon, and it would be replaced by Lebanese armed forces. It would basically leave room for Israel to defend against re-emerging threats. It includes a commitment to fully implement UN Security Council Resolution 1701, which we've talked about before. The total failure of a plan it was supposed to keep Hezbollah from threatening Israel in the first place, but it was never fully implemented. A new monitoring group would be set up to keep an eye on Hezbollah with participation from the international community. Basically here, Israel's goal is to ensure the safe return of tens of thousands of its citizens to northern Israel and to create a reality where they don't have to evacuate again in a few years. So I don't have all the details about this ceasefire deal. I'm not sure if it's the best idea. From looking at it from a surface level, it doesn't look terrible, and I don't think it's the worst thing that Israel could do. Perhaps they won't get a better deal than this. But I guess we'll see what happens, see what Israeli leaders do, whether they're going to continue to be strong, keep hounding Hezbollah until they accept a better ceasefire deal, or I'm not sure if they're going to accept this one. But again, their goal is to return those tens of thousands of Israeli citizens to their homes who have been evacuated 4 months since October 8th, when Hezbollah joined the war fighting against Israel. Guys, in conclusion, let's pray for Israel. Continue to pray. They're facing multiple threats. They're still facing Hezbollah, which I said in the beginning, they're down to 20% of their firepower. However, we want to see that number down to 0. So continue to pray for Israel that they will have the strength to continue to do what they need to do. Make sure and subscribe, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Stop listening to the lies and propaganda and connect with the truth of what is happening here in Israel. We'll be back soon here at the Israel Guys. Catch you in the next one.